Alright, so if you guys are confused on the exercises you need to do in order to transform your physique, then watch until the end of this video, because these are the exercises that took my physique from this to this. Now, before I even start, I want to first say that exercise selection is solely based on preference. So it doesn't really matter what exercise you do. The only thing that matters is if that exercise works for you or not. Like for example, the exercise in the gym might work for me, but it might not work for you. Vice versa, it might work for you, but it might not work for me. That's why choose the exercises which actually works for you, and the exercises which you guys actually enjoy. So first off, the first muscle group we're gonna start off with is arms. So basically for arms, there's two parts of your arm. There's the biceps and triceps. So first of all, we're gonna start off with the tricep, because that's the largest part of your arm. Your triceps take up 2/3 of your arm. So in order to have bigger arms, you need to focus more on the triceps. So for the triceps have got 3 heads: the long head, the lateral head, as well as the medial head. So the long head is responsible for making your triceps look bigger from the side, and your lateral head is responsible for making your triceps look bigger from the front, and your medial head is responsible for just the overall shape of the tricep to get that 3D tricep look. So for your triceps, so for the lateral head, you want to be doing any sort of push down in front of your body. So preferably for me, I choose any sort of V-bar push downs for my lateral head. And then for your long head, you want to be doing any sort of overhead extensions. So this could be overhead cable extensions, skull crushers. Preferably me, I prefer cable overhead extensions. And then for the medial head is going to work in any of your pressing movements, such as if you're training chest or shoulders, you're already going to be working on your medial head, so you don't really have to isolate the medial head directly. Alright, so next up we got the biceps. So for your biceps, there's actually 2 heads called the short head and the long head, and there's also a separate muscle right next to your biceps, and that's what's gonna make your biceps pop out, and it's called the brachialis. So for your long head and short head, what you guys want to do, you guys want to focus on any curling variation that's in front of your body. So that could be dumbbell curls, barbell curls, cable curls. Preferably for me, I prefer cable curls for this, because I just feel it better on my biceps. And for the brachialis, what you guys want to do is any sort of hammer curl variation, such as a rope hammer curl, a machine hammer curl, or a dumbbell hammer curl. Me, preferably, I choose the dumbbell hammer curl, because the thing is with dumbbells, it works on my grip strength as well. So I get some forearm work as well when I'm using dumbbells. And another thing I want to say is only for hammer curls do I use free weights, but for my other exercises, like as I said, even for my triceps, I prefer cables, because the thing with cables is the tension is way better on the cables. You feel it throughout the movement, and the thing about cables is it doesn't the thing with cables is other muscle groups don't take over. So when I'm doing any sort of free weight exercise for my triceps, or for my biceps, the thing is my front delts and my shoulders take over, and my arms don't do the work fully on. So that's why I use cables to stop other muscle groups from taking over. Honestly, as I said, it's a matter of preference. If you guys, instead of cable curls, if you like dumbbell curls, just do that. Similarly for triceps, if you, instead of doing overhead extensions, cable extensions, if you guys like doing skull crushes with a barbell or dumbbell, just do that. It all comes down to preference. Preferably for me, I just use cables, because I just feel it way more in my arms. But for you guys, it really depends. Just try different variations out, just try everything out. Try using barbells, cables, dumbbells, machines, and just see what works for you. The exercises that you feel the most tension on, and the exercise which allows you to target that specific muscle only without without other muscle groups taking over, that's the variation which you should choose. Alright, so next up we got shoulders. So for your shoulders, you want to understand that there's three heads. There's the front head, there's the side head, as well as the rear head or the rear delt. So for your front delt, you want to be doing any sort of shoulder pressing variation, such as a dumbbell shoulder press, machine shoulder press, or a barbell shoulder press. You guys can pick any, preferably for me. I just switch it around. Sometimes I'll do machine, sometimes I'll do dumbbell, sometimes I'll do barbell. But for you guys, you can choose whatever you want. And then for your side head, you want to do any sort of lateral raising movement. So it could be dumbbell, machine, cable lateral raises. Preferably for me, I choose the cables, because the thing is, if I do like dumbbell side raises, the thing is the tension is not all the way through the movement. So let me just demonstrate it for you guys. So if I'm doing a dumbbell lateral raise, so the thing is, I only feel the tension when I'm coming up. But when I go down, there's no tension. Like there's no tension on my deltoids, on the eccentric portion of the movement. But if I'm doing cables, like I feel the tension all the way throughout the movement, and that's what actually leads to better growth. So yeah, thing is, I done both cables and dumbbells, and I found out that like for me, cables, I just feel it way more, like I feel way more tension on my deltoids on cables rather than dumbbells, and that's what actually led to me growing my shoulders more. But to be honest, dumbbells are a pretty good option, but it's just for me, I prefer cables. So another thing with dumbbell lateral raises is, with dumbbells, like when people do it, like their form is incorrect, and that actually makes their traps take over, so they're not focusing fully on their side delts. So yeah, that's another reason why I prefer cables using dumbbells, because it stops other muscle groups from taking over, and it just focuses the tension fully on the side deltoid. So the last part of the shoulder is your rear delt, just this part right over here. So the rear delt is really important to train. Like a lot of people, they skip the rear delt, but if you want that full like 3D cap shoulder look, you must train the rear delts. So for your rear delts, all I do is literally just face pulls. Like I just spam the hell out of face pulls. I do 4 sets all the way to failure, twice a week, and that's what actually helped my rear delts grow. Alright, so that's it for shoulders. Now let's move on to chest. So the thing about chest is so many people complicate chest training because they do so many different variations of literally the same exercise. So okay, so for chest you literally only need 2 movements. One incline movement and one flat movement or fly movement. Like you can do either fly or you can do any sort of flat movement. So for your incline movement, you can do like incline machine press, incline bench press, incline Smith machine, incline double press. Me preferably, I'll do like all of them and I'll just switch it around if I get bored. So the incline press, it works your upper chest. So the upper chest is what really makes your chest pop out more. So what I recommend you guys to do, if you really want your chest to pop out, is to focus more on incline movements. You see Arnold when he does his side chest pose, like see how his upper chest pops out? It's literally because he spammed incline movements. So next up for chest, the other movement you need is any sort of flat pressing movement or any sort of fly movement. So okay, so the incline press works your upper chest over your clavicular head, and the flat movements or fly movements is gonna work more of your lower chest or your mid. It's gonna work your mid to lower chest. So the biggest mistake that I see with a lot of lifters that they make when it comes to chest training is that they do a whole lot of exercises. Like they do 3 to 4 exercises for your chest. Guys, you do realize you don't need that much volume to grow your chest. You literally just need 1 incline movement and 1 flat or fly movement. That's literally all you guys need in order to grow your chest. Like this was my chest at the start before I started lifting, and this is my chest now, and I grew my chest by just doing these 2 variations, just 1 incline movement and 1 flat or fly movement. That's all you guys need. Just pick those 2 movements, get stronger at it over time, and your chest will grow. It's as simple as that. You don't need to be doing a whole bunch of these random like 5 to 6 incline variations and 5 to 6 flat variations per week. Like that's just unnecessary. That's just junk volume, and that's gonna like hinder your muscle growth in the long term. Alright, so the next muscle group that we got is your back. So similar for the chest, this is a muscle group that a lot of people like they don't train it properly. So for your back, you literally only need 2 different variations. You literally just need a vertical pull as well as a horizontal pull. So for your vertical pulling movements, these include your lat pull downs as well as your pull-ups, because the reason they're called vertical pull is because you're pulling in a vertical motion. So this is what works the lats, and this is what's gonna make your back look wider. So vertical pulling movements are what works the width of your back. Then we have horizontal pulling movements. These include your rows, your upper back rows, your T-bar rows, your dumbbell rows, your barbell rows. These are what works the width of your back because of the muscle groups it targets. So basically, any type of horizontal pulling movements, it targets your upper back, your rhomboids, your spinal erectors, your teres major, and these are what actually is gonna make your back look thicker. So in order to grow your back, you literally just need one vertical pulling movement and one horizontal pulling movement, and you just need to get better at these two movements over time. You don't need to do a whole bunch of you just need to do these two variations, like only 2 exercises twice a week in order to grow your back. That's all you guys need. Then we have the last muscle group in your upper body, which is going to be your abs. Now, the mistake I did was not treating abs like any other muscle group. So basically, as we know, abs are a muscle group. So in order to treat them as any other muscle group, you have to train them like any other muscle group. So you train them 2 to 3 times per week with progressive overload. So the thing is, a lot of people say abs are made in the kitchen. The thing is, they reveal it in the kitchen, but they're built in the gym. Because I got to a point where I was dieting down, I got really lean, but I still couldn't see my abs. It was only after I started training him that my abs actually started to pop out. The only ab exercise you guys really need is just the cable ab crunch. It literally works your whole abs, like your upper abs, your lower abs, as well as your obliques. So if you guys just do the cable ab crunch 2 to 3 times per week and get stronger in it over time, like your abs are gonna get much thicker. So those are all the exercises that you guys need to know in order to grow your upper body. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys found a lot of value, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.